Marks Black Women's Equal Pay Day, highlighting how much longer a black woman has to work on average to earn as much as her white male counterparts did last year.
In this Voices for Change segment, our political reporter Greg Lee spoke to Eleanor Ramsey, an expert on the gender and racial pay gap.
Today is Black Women's Equal Pay Day, marking the fact that black women, on average, make 58 cents to every dollar their white male counterparts make. Explain why today should not just be an observation, but a call to action.
Because this issue of pay inequity experienced by African American women cuts across all industries and all job categories, and therefore is a major concern that should be addressed. And such a day brings attention to that. The need to view it as not only one day in the year in which attention should be brought to this, but that it should be part of the ongoing approach that we use to addressing the need to level the playing field and to bring about equity across the gender, as well as the gender gap.
This day falls about a month later than last year, indicating the wage gap is widening. How frustrating is that? And what do you think might be leading to this?
Well, I think one of the things, to the extent that the pandemic is a factor, has to do with the decisions that were made about who continued to work, what the compensation was, and how comfortable corporations and government and contractors were in paying African American women less and enabling them to work for fewer hours.
As we enter sort of this new phase of the pandemic, how are we able to achieve more equity? How do we reach that level?
I think it's the responsibility of corporations as well as government. And government spends money with other corporations that in turn have an obligation to address this matter. And so if you look specifically at decisions government makes when it offers contracts, it is in a position to hire African American women as contractors, to pay them in a fair manner so that they too can employ others who look like themselves. And so those are opportunities, I think, that can fundamentally change the inequities.
Doctor, what can the community at large do to ensure that we close these gaps?
One of the things where decision makers are people of color, as well as those who are Caucasian males, they're in a position to make a difference and to ensure when decisions are made about hire, that those decisions are equitable. And then when decisions are made about leave time, special consideration for, in the case of professionals, who gets money to do training, who gets money to travel. Those are decisions that profoundly affect the actual inequities in compensation. And so a broader look at how decisions affect the bottom line as reflected in the salary and the position in which a person is hired, I think can really move the needle and change the conditions that we are experiencing.
Latino Women's Equal Pay Day will be observed on December 8th of this year. For more interviews and content like this, just head to our website, KTVU.com, and search Voices for Change.